you all can hear me. First of all, I would like to thank Safe for giving us time and the floor here to present our work from Central Asia. And very soon you understand how this is related to India and Rajasthan in particular. So first of all, just to mention that I'm presenting here on the behalf of our teams in Central Asia, namely on the behalf of our Central Asian Vultures project, our colleagues from the Russian Raptor Research and Conservation Network, and also our friends from the Biodiversity Research and Conservation Center in Kazakhstan. Next slide, please. The Egyptian vulture is well studied across most of its range. And here on the map, you can see this well presented. There are a number of great studies and great conservation work done in the last 10, 15 years across the Eastern and the Western Mediterranean flyway. Nevertheless, as you can see on the map, until very recent time, nothing was actually sure and known about these birds, their migration and wintering grounds in the along the Central Asian migratory flyway, and that's why actually this is how we came up with these projects and start digging in more into these questions. Next slide, please. So, because nothing was actually known for the species migration along the Central Asian migratory flyway, several questions remained. One of them was actually which migratory corridors the birds use, and finally where they will end up wintering. Because of course there were several ideas about this, but none of them was proven. So we wanted to test it. That's why we focused mostly on the two main countries laying on the Central Asian migratory flyway, namely Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Here on the maps, you can see some of the population estimates for these countries. Of course, they are like they are not really precise, but this is the best to our knowledge and what have been published so far, and this is derived also from our work on the ground in the field in some of the main areas in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. So you can see that in both countries at least 350 pairs remain. Of course, these are some estimates. So this is the places where we're concentrated, particularly in Kazakhstan in the Karatau Mountains, and also in Uzbekistan. Our two main study areas were the Central Kazılkum Desert and also the Kashkadarya region in the south of Uzbekistan. Next slide, please. We used two approaches to tag birds, Egyptian vultures. So first of all, we tagged individuals, juveniles in the nests, and also in 2022, we managed to trap 5 immature sub-adult birds in the south of Uzbekistan. So in total, we marked 15 birds, and 10 of them were juveniles, and 5 of them, as I mentioned, immatures and sub-adults in these 3 main areas that I already mentioned. Next, please. Here I'm presenting actually the first results from the migration routes and the tracks and the wintering grounds of the Egyptian vulture breeding in Central Asia. So yeah, as I mentioned, we just started, and actually this is, I hope, just the beginning of the work that would be done in the next years. But so far, we have the first migration trips of these birds in 2022 and 2022 and 2021. As you can see on the map, all of the birds breeding in Central Asia, in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, they actually follow the Central Asian migratory flyway. Most of the birds are actually traversing the mountains, and all of them are crossing the Hindu Kush Mountains, and Then they're coming down to Rajasthan in India, where actually most of the birds stop for wintering and reside there. Namely, actually 11 of the birds that we were following overwinter in Rajasthan, and only one bird went to Jammu and Kashmir. We also have one bird from Uzbekistan that actually went to Yemen and is still there in its second year. Next slide, please. Of all the 15 birds that we have marked, actually not all of them managed to finish their migration. One bird was lost near the breeding site. We have one bird that was stuck and the transmitter never worked, and also recently one juvenile from Kazakhstan was trapped in Pakistan. So more or less the fate of this bird is still unknown, but hopefully we still have these 12 birds. As I mentioned before, almost all of them, 11 actually, ended up in Rajasthan, and most of the birds actually visited the dump site near Bikaner. In account just a few weeks ago, we visited the site at Bikaner, and just to look for some of our tagged individuals. At this place, we found at least 1,000 Egyptian vultures in the area of the dump site. Also, a huge number of griffon vultures, steppe eagles, and other vultures like the Himalayan vultures and the cinereous vulture. So far, at least for the Egyptian vulture, arguably this is the largest wintering congregation site of the species, and as some data exists in some publications, the number of the birds is increasing during the winter and decreasing during the summer. And we now can say that most of these birds that are counted in Rajasthan and in these main sites there are originating from Central Asia. Next slide, please. And as most of the birds are coming from Central Asia, most probably, here on this map, I have simply just mapped some of the major congregation sites for wintering birds, or just simply congregation sites near breeding areas. As you can see, there are many. Most of them, especially in the West, in Africa and Europe, they're well known. But some of them, like those in India, where the vultures from Egyptian vultures from Central Asia winter, are actually quite new. And we now know that a huge number of birds winter there, which is really important and new information. Also, few congregation sites, big congregation sites of the species we found in south of Uzbekistan. So it's really this really new important information regarding all the threats that might appear in these sites for these birds. And most of all, we would like just to emphasize on the importance of Bikaner in Rajasthan in India as a global congregation site of the species, and most probably the largest one known across the range of the Egyptian vulture. And next slide, please. Yeah, finally, I would like to thank everybody and working in Central Asia, and last but not least, I would like to express our gratitude to our supporters from Hawk Conservancy, the Ornithological Society of the Middle East, Oriental Bird Club, and also the Critical Ecosystem Partnership Fund, and the Altai Project, the Institute of Zoology in Uzbekistan, and to everybody involved. Thank you very much.